Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Poon Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's dad joke of the week. What is going on, Ohmies, and welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. And today we are off to the testing grounds, guys, because it is official, it is live, it is open, and you guys can now make your way over to Uncle Chris's testing grounds and grab yourself up some of that beautiful custard. Of course, we'll be talking about that a little bit more as the show gets on and all that stuff. But of course, we can't start the show off without talking about what we are vaping on, of course. And with that, we're going to start this week off with Poon Sauce. What are you vaping on tonight, brother?
I got a few things first. Captain with the Arbiter. And inside of there, I got some Skipper Milk Pie. And then I got the Bar V3.5 GT4S with some of that back off from our man Mr. Vinyl Vapor. And then finally got my MK Regina Dwarv DL on top of there. And inside of there I got some Mika from our good friends over at Rescued from the Pack Leader line. And that's all I got. I'll keep it all RTAs as of late. I don't know. Been an RTA kick for a while. So that's all I got. Let's pass it off to Clown.
I'm going to start with this. I still remember when Poon Sauce was all stacked or nothing.
Dude, remember that, bro? What happened to the stacks, Corey?
Remember when he was like, if it doesn't stack, I don't even want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like any mod he saw, does it stack? That was the first question coming out of him. He's grown so much.
Dude, those were the days, man.
Right?
Yeah, I kind of miss those days. Corey, go back to stacks only, please.
Yeah, please. Next
He's
week.
like, never. All right, first off, I got the Enforcer with the Temple 28 on top of that, and then I got just some DIY juice. I don't even know, I just called it Why the Hell Not Bars, but it's just a thing I came up with last week. I know we didn't do the show, but we still, like, the guys did a hangout, and I managed to catch at least the last couple of minutes of it, so I got to do some mixing with them. And yeah, it's just like an Nanaimo bar chocolate thing, and it's tasting pretty damn good. It has a weird banana flavor, but I'm liking it. Then next is the Temple 25 on the Overlord, and in that I got I've been trying my hand at making a eclair donut. We'll see how this goes. I'm liking it, but I feel like a couple of things are missing. So we'll see. I'm gonna order some flavorings here soon, so we'll see how that goes. Then lastly, as always, some form of a billet box. And in that, I got the Nihad Bog. Really enjoying that. All right. You ready, Chris?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for sure. All right, so okay, first thing I got, speaking of Corey, speaking of stacks, this is something that Corey actually has. So I got an Evil Twin. Inside here, I actually have some Dan Coils. If you look at it, his Instagram, it's just Dan Coils. He's like a Canadian builder. They're really good, man. They're like a touch lower than like where I really like to vape on a series, but this thing's got a lot of airflow, so it kind of like makes up for that. And the liquid that I got in there, because also for Corey, this is like a Corey setup. This is like a throwback to like 2019 Corey. I got some Pango from Transistor. It's pretty good. You know what? I think that it might be my favorite transistor that I've tried, but I still have like the
Wait, did it beat out Beautiful Disaster for you?
Yeah, because like I think that Beautiful Disaster, after I vaped like 3 bottles of it, I started to get a lot more candy than I did the Blue Raspberry. It was like this powdered candy, and I started to not really dig that part. This is only the second bottle of this, and I've probably had this for like 4 months before I opened it up. I think that what it comes down to is transistor juices are honestly too sweet for me. So like I have to like very rarely I'll vape it, and then it's nice. But if I try to like finish this bottle, you know, like I open it and then just try to go straight through it, by the end of it, it's going to be way too sweet. And I'll be like, ooh, I need to not vape this for a long time. But the flavor is nice. Next setup, I got some, you know what? Tonight's kind of like a little bit of a shot at Corey, but not really. Like I like Corey a lot. But it's just the way that it worked out. So I got the
Oh, you son of a bitch!
God damn it,
and
bro.
actually, dude, I'm rocking a Goon 22 on top. It looks pretty dope.
I'm not
on
looking.
there.
Not looking.
I won't.
And the coils that I got in there, I got some Sammy Nitro coils. I got his triple 26s in there, so it's pretty rowdy. And of course, I got the liquid you guys all need to try from Steel Valley Vapors. It's Georgie, because this stuff is fire and legit. And I broke down, and I normally I try to order more before I open up my last bottle. But I was like, you know what? By the end of this week, I'll order more. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm opening this right now. And then my last setup, another one that I like busted out. This is not anything to do with Corey. This is just a double barrel V3, and I got a Goon, the original Goon on top, with the blue cap. And the coils that I have in here actually are Breeze Tone coils. And the liquid that I got, it's probably my favorite, is the Vanilla Custard from Testing Grounds. That's everything that I got. James, take it away.
All right. I had you guys on my Matthew McConaughey real quick. Got my Countdown MDX 2.0 from Unicorn Vapes Inc. with a Goon LP on top that I actually gotta say, even though there's a little bit of some juice residue on it, I gotta say it looks kind of nice, even though the RDA is a tad bit small, you know, because this will take up to a 26. I think it looks pretty good, in my opinion. It's not bad. Got a Blizzard Chop Top on top. This has got some 27 gauge Breeze Tone aliens on the inside. And, yeah, Testing Grounds, Overdrip Vanilla Custard for the fucking win. Just get you some, guys. It's honestly my favorite vanilla custard, hands down. I'm just going to say it because it's true. It's good. And my next setup I've got is... this guy, you guys seen it this morning in the Cloud Check, K Vapors Turk Edition, Side Fire, a little 21700 jammy. Got the Twisted Messes Pro Series on top with the Eclipse cap, and I actually changed out the drip tip earlier to the little white one because I forget that this thing's that 2-piece tip, and it comes with a couple different colors, and you can kind of change them out. And I was like, dude, I got a white one somewhere, and it just looks the tits on there if you ask me. I think it looks pretty damn good. Inside of this, it's got some more Breeze Tone coils, of course, because Breeze Tone's coils are pretty much in everything. Actually, in everything that I'm vaping today. So we'll just go ahead and say that. This has got some 26 gauge aliens and some of my all-time favorites. Shout out to my boy Clown because he was able to help me restock up on one of my all-time favorites. And let me say, when I say stock up, I got 8 bottles of this delicious nectar of the gods just because I needed it. I just need it on stock. Because whenever I run out, it's just not a good day. So now I've got some for a little while. And my last setup is I got a little mouth to lung action, little baby vert custom coated by Palmer's Powders. Of course, he did the coating on the K Vapors as well. But I got the Unicorn Nevermore mouth to lung RTA on top of that. And inside of this, I've got a Breeze Tones mouth to lung coil. And I have some 12 milligram Turkish Harvest little apple, apple butterscotch, and it's just delicious. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite like mouth to lung liquids, and it's just so good. Especially out of this Nevermore, I'm actually pretty impressed with this thing so far. Other than that, I think that's it for the buffets for today. So with that, guys, of course, you know what time it is. It's time to go and spend a little time with our man Poon Sauce and maybe find out a little bit about maybe what's going on in the news or something like that. Of course, you can get a whole hour or so worth of this every other Wednesday on the Poon Sauce We Nasty channel with Logan Exhales and of course Poon Sauce himself. So it's time for What's in the News, Poon Sauce.
Okay, well, this is just gonna be a quick one. Got a little email reminder today that made me want to talk about this. The CASA eSig Intelligence Annual Vape Consumer Survey is still going on. If you have 5 minutes, I highly suggest everybody to take part of this survey. This can do a lot for the industry just by getting information that I would say is necessary to help us lead towards lobbying and help with other legislation that's going on right now. But other than that, nothing really has been going on besides what's going on in New York. So other than that, just take care of doing the survey and just keep track of CASA's call to actions whenever they come up. I'm trying to correct myself to make sure I don't make a fool of myself this time.
All right, hold on real quick. Sidetrack.
Thought of it.
Okay, guys, so you made the pause, Corey, so now you gave me the opportunity to do so. Last week, if you guys were paying attention to the What's in the News segment, go back and listen. I think it was in like, I'm trying to remember what the timestamp was now. I don't remember.
It was like 12 minutes.
12 minutes, 42 seconds.
13 minutes, not minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes, 42 seconds, somewhere around there. Just go back, look at that timestamp, and you'll thank me later. It's just hilarious. So with that, anyways, Corey, appreciate you. Always holding. Honestly, can we all just take a second and just like give Corey a round of applause, man? Because honestly, over the past 3 seasons of this show, he has been holding it down for us as our like advocacy master. And not only that, but he's taken the next step as doing his own show with Logan and everything like that. And let me say that we have conversations on the regular about regulations and new legislation that's going out there, and Corey is always on top of it, guys. Like, he really stays on top of this stuff. So it's very commendable, because I know a lot of us wish we knew as much as Corey did half the time about certain things. Sometimes it takes him a little bit to get it out there, but honestly, you'd be surprised on the actual just amount of knowledge that he's gathered just from doing the research. So, dude, shout outs to Corey.
There's a lot of useless knowledge in this noggin, but there's some decent.
There's some we were talking about like a lot of the new legislation when it comes to shipping vapor products and stuff like that, and like Corey's literally sitting there listing off everything that's pretty much going on with the new PACT Act bill and everything like that. And it's just, he surprised me because he literally knew like every end of it. So shout outs to you, Corey. And of course, if you guys want to know more and you guys want to get more of an in-depth feel of what it's like to kind of hear Corey when he's on one of those like news rants, or even when he's just on a roll with just like killer information, go check out What's in the News over there on his channel every other Wednesday with Logan Exhales, who's another amazing advocate in our community. So shout outs to Logan as well, because they absolutely kill it. I just want to take a second and say that, because we don't say it enough. And you know what? There we go. I just want to show Corey a little bit of some appreciation, man, because he does a lot of hard work behind the scenes, guys. We give Corey a lot of shit, man, but he does a lot of hard work behind the scenes, guys, and he doesn't get enough credit, to be honest. So,
but he's also fun to like bust him.
You know what I mean? This is the thing, bro.
Corey gets the little brother role. That's the problem.
He's a good sport.
I've had that role for about 3 years now. I think I can deal with it.
Because you're still the youngest.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be the youngest.
He's a good sport, man, and you can't fault him for that. You know what I mean? He could be one of those guys that cries all the time, and he don't. You know what I mean? And we appreciate it.
He goes with
dude.
it. He gives us a weird look, and that's it.
He don't, bro. And every now and then you get him to where he throws it back a little bit, and those things are a little fun too. But anyways, guys, we're getting off track here. But I want to talk about it. because it's finally here, Chris. I know we talked about it a little bit on Friday in the green room, but dude, it's happened. Orders have actually gone out, if I'm correct, right? Some orders have actually been
No,
shipped.
yeah.
Dude,
Nobody's like received them yet, but that's
but
because
like that,
doesn't go fast.
the next step from the site being live is like up and going, dude. It's
I think by
exciting.
the end of the week, some people might get them. I don't know about like some of the people in America that might be like maybe the beginning of next week, like a week from now ish. But yeah, man, I honestly, like, I still can't fully believe that it's happened. I'm still like not struggling necessarily with the thought of that I've done this, but I think that I've like hit enough roadblocks that there's a little bit of skepticism from myself, but I'm not necessarily concerned about some of the things I was concerned about previously, because I feel like I've got a lot of just like the dumb stuff out of the road. There's there's like a lot more forms and a lot more licenses and a bunch of BS shit that I had to fill out that I never thought I would. But I mean, going the route that I did is the way that I felt most comfortable. So that's why I decided to do that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm also from a country that you're still okay to do it. It's not like illegal. So that made it a little bit simpler, I suppose. But like I said, when I've owned a business before, but it was like a very cut and dry business. It was like you built someone, they paid you, you gave all your receipts to your account at the end of the year, and you're done.
Yeah.
There was like not like licenses and like all these different things that I've had to acquire for this. But not only that, because you have online retail, right? There's like a whole different level of like responsibility, I guess it would be, even down to something like I was saying to the guys before the show. Originally, I wasn't going to accept MasterCard because MasterCard charges a lot of money to sell vapor products. Up here, it costs $750 for MasterCard to just be allowed to be accepted on your website. And at first, I was like, oh man, I don't want to do that because there's multiple reasons. Like, one reason was like I've already put quite a bit of money into it, and $750 is a good amount of money to just come up with. But two, like, you don't get anything from it other than the fact that people can use MasterCard on your site. And maybe it's just the circle of friends or family that I've had. I was also saying to the guys before that, like, I don't really know many people that have MasterCard. So that was like an issue that I had to decide, okay, well, I'm going to have to fucking do this, I guess, and just bite that bullet. So today I contacted like the people that do all the payments for me. Like it's basically like this company that captures the payments. Like I physically capture them, but they're the ones that handle the money. They like transfer it to my account after like a waiting period or whatever else. So I contacted them and I said, yeah, like I'm going to have to bite the bullet here and I'm going to have to accept MasterCard. So for anybody out there that might have went on there previous to and you tried using your MasterCard and it didn't work, hopefully the guy said that it might be tonight, but it should probably be by tomorrow. So for anybody out there that does want to and uses MasterCard within, I would say by Wednesday night, you should have no problems doing that. So it's just like a bunch of little things like that. I had some issues with shipping, which I feel like I've sorted them out now. And I think that as time goes on, like I'll get more comfortable with like what I'm doing and the fact that I am doing this. Will just make it even easier for me. And also it'll allow me to bring out more flavors, which is exciting because a lot for me, as like anybody knows, if you watch Mixing It Up or you just paid attention to Clown talking about DIY on this show, it's fun for us. Like it's fun developing new things. It's fun getting somewhere and it's fun having other people try it and hearing their feedback. And I think that ultimately, like, once something's to market, you're going to get that opportunity to hear what people think, more than just like your friends or people that you know what they vape like, that if something is going to hit well with them or if it doesn't. But once it hits the market, you know what I mean? Like if you might hear things that you don't want to hear, but you might hear things you want to hear. And I think for me, just as a mixer, I just want people to try it and give me their feedback. So it's exciting that that's finally able to happen. Other than that, though, like I said, it's just been a ride, man. Like,
Real quick too, for anybody that's wondering what the site is, yeah, thank you, Sean. There you guys go. So go
yeah,
check
that's
it
what
out.
it is. It's
Use the code SHEDTIME too.
UncleChris.com. But it like pretty soon it's going to be UC testing grounds, but Uncle Chris testing grounds will also work. There's going to be like a multiple direct.
So it'll be kind of like how Stan does it.
Yeah, how Stan does it. Yeah, because like originally I'd like that was another one of the obstacles that I ran into. I originally started with a different company, like helping or utilizing their software, I guess, to design the site. And they ended up, they're like, yeah, we don't really like people doing tobacco products. So I was like, okay, well, that's great. And they gave me my money back, so like I wasn't that upset, but I'd already registered the domain of UC testing grounds with them, so I had to wait 60 days to get it released, and I think it will be released on like the 22nd or 23rd of this month. So hopefully by the end of the month I'll have it linked up, and both of those will direct you there. But like I said, like I've talked about it before on the Shed Time podcast that like there are certain things, or it might have even been on the green room. There's like certain things that I struggle at in life, and one of them is asking for help.
Yeah.
I'm more of a person that likes to just do things on their own and learn from their mistakes. But sometimes it gets incredibly frustrating, and it costs you a lot of time and money sometimes. So I should have probably asked people originally what I should do with the website, but I didn't. I just was like, I'm going to do it the way that I think I should, blah, blah, blah. And so I learned lessons, but I think that a lesson that I did learn is that there's nothing wrong with asking for help, and asking people that have been successful at something that you're trying to do is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm on that track of being more okay with asking for help. Not entirely. Like I'm sure there's going to be tons of times in my life that I won't ask for help and it ends up burning me. But in this specific instance, like the window's been open and enough people have reached out to me saying like, hey, you know, I know what I'm doing here. Like if you got any questions, ask me. And I've been less tentative to ask them. So that's one thing that I'm pretty excited about.
Dude, totally. I need to take, the floor real quick. We have a public service announcement from Mr. Sean Typhon. He says, by the way, 3D Doritos are back, and they're still wonderful. So I just want to let you guys know.
3D Dorito.
Yes,
Dude, you don't remember that? Where it's like the puff? It's like triangle shape, but it's like puffed out. And they used to come in like a
late 90s and early 2000s.
Dude,
Oh,
they
they
were
glorious.
They were awesome.
I'm gonna have to look that up after.
But anyways,
honestly, I can't remember that.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, Chris, I'm super stoked, man. Because like, I know me and you've been we've been talking about you doing like this for a long time, dude. Like I remember when I first tried like your custards, like your DIYs, and it was just like, dude, these things are awesome, man. Like, dude, you should like make this a thing. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. And then like, dude, it was just like crazy because just slowly but surely I could kind of just see things like start moving in that direction where it's just like, you started, mixing a little bit more, and then you started doing the, mixing it up with clown, and then, I kind of see you like really like developing and like even like kind of just like tweaking the flavors that you had and like really refining them. And then I was like, you know what, dude, I feel like he's getting to that point where he's about to make that step. And then it's like you reached out to like Sean and us, or finally let the podcast boys know, and we're like, dude, fuck yeah, bro. And I was just super stoked about it. And then as soon as I heard that the site was live, I had to go on and put an order in just to make sure that it was working, just to see, like, I wanted to be the first order, selfishly, just because I wanted to be that guy. But I was number 2. I'll let Spider-Man take it. It's cool, man. It's cool. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, you were number 2.
Yeah,
you were the first American order. If that makes any difference.
But dude, one of the other cool things about it is not only do you have a liquid that like I love and enjoy, like I've vaped, I don't know, hundreds of mils of this stuff by now. I actually even have one of like an original mix from before, it was the testing grounds. I have like a 120 that's been sitting here steeping for like a year that I'm like going to crack into and like just probably demolish. But like, I was like, dude, he's got 2 of my favorite liquids when it comes down to the vanilla and the butterscotch, but he also is carrying, not only Sammy Nitro coils, which you guys already know how much we love Sammy Nitro and his Samantha Nacho coils because they are the spicy ones. But you're also carrying Band Builds coils. Shout outs to Macy, because if you guys go back to like the beginnings of my channel and like watch a lot of my build videos, and like even just when we're talking about it, I used to vape the shit out of Macy's coils, and she makes one of my all-time favorite builds, and it's her Fralians in particular. I don't know what she does with the wraps or the ribbon or any, I don't know what voodoo magic she does, but her Fralians that she makes are just like one of my all-time favorite vapes. And Chris has them on his site. So first thing I did is like, yep, I need another bottle of butterscotch because I just finished one, and then I need a set of them Fralians. So I was like super stoked about that, because like not only do I get to support my boy Chris, but now I can also support Macy and Sammy, and it's just like one-stop shop for all the homies. And dude, I was super stoked about it.
Oh,
man.
dude, I won't lie. Like so originally when I started thinking about releasing liquid, right? It was probably like a year ago, and I was like, you know what? I think I might maybe one day come out with like, I might sell this stuff. Like I might.
Yeah.
And we were in Detroit. And Corey was there, but I don't know if he was like part of the conversation at this moment. And I was talking to Macy, and I said, Macy, so here's a question for you. Like, you don't even really sell your coils. Like, I want to know though, like, let's just say hypothetically that I came out with a website and I was going to sell my liquid. I'm like, could I count on you as being one of the builders of coils that I could supply to the masses? And she like looked at me and she's like, for you, I'll do it. So I was like, okay. So then like fucking like 8 months goes by, and like I never mentioned to her. And then once like I talked to the lab and I started working on it and everything, I was like, okay, well, this is fucking happening. So I'm gonna message Macy, and I'm gonna say, hey Macy, you know, like I'm calling you in for that favor. Like I was like, yo, so I'm gonna come out with this liquid line.
Like that.
And I was like, so can I still count on getting quotes from you? And she's like, yeah, totally, for sure. So then I just decided, and like before that, even at the same time or before that, I always knew that like if I ever had a site, and once Sammy started selling his coils, because he told me before that he was going to be like selling them, and he was going to start making some for like Stand Site. Now they're available at like Stand Site and Will's Site and a couple other places. I was like, yo, listen, I was like, here's the deal. I'm like, whenever I come up with a site, you're literally like making coils for my site. I'm selling them. And if it means that you can't sell to some of these other sites, you better fucking remember who told you first that they would fucking get your coils on their site. He's like, bro, I got you. So that's why I went with those two, because number one, like dude, Sammy's like my big bro. And like, I think his coils rip and I love them. So like that for me, and he's Canadian too. So I was like, this is perfect. And then Macy's was like, you can't get them anywhere else. And they bang, like they're awesome. And so I just wanted to have those two things on my site. Like my site doesn't have that much stuff because I don't really want to go into like trying to pick up stuff and stocking RDAs and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. But it's also like things go by and they're hot and then they're not. Liquid and coils are things that people need all the time. And so that's why I always like thought, you know, I will just end up, I might carry other people's liquids, but they'll end up being like, they'll be friends of mine or like people that I have relationships with that they're looking to get their stuff out there or something like that. Like, I'm not saying that won't ever happen, but like, you're not going to be going on my site to pick up 12 monkeys or something like that. It's just going to be my liquid. Like I do have plans on having more liquid available on there. I was actually like thinking about it today, like while I was driving around for work, and I was like, all right, you know what? Like, I think that it might be time now that you're like actually got the site up and going, like getting some money back, that you could maybe bring out another flavor. So I was like, oh, well, you know what? I should probably get some recipes to the lab, get some samples, and, you know, have some things that are ready to go whenever, you know what I mean? Like the timing's right or the funding's right in order to get that going. So yeah, like I just want to like keep on going the way that I'm going. And like you said, even, I'm not getting satisfied with recipes that I had that I felt were knocked out, because I know that I can do better now. And I've heard like Clown say it as well. Like there's nothing wrong with revisiting recipes that you
Well,
already thought were good, because you can probably make them better
Dude,
as you get more experience.
just to even touch on that is because like you even told me when you sent these the actual like lab made liquids out, you're like, just so you know, I did make a few tweaks to these before I sent it the recipe to the lab, so it wasn't the exact thing that I've grown to like love and enjoy. So like at first I was kind of like, I don't know, man, why'd you touch it, dude? They're so, why'd you do it? And then I got them in my hands and vaped them, and I was like, oh, okay, now I get it, because like both of them just like became so much more well-rounded and just like complete, you know what I mean? To where like, and not only that, but one thing I've noticed as well, depending on like what I'm vaping it out of, is like you're able to get like sort of little different, nuances of the liquids that I never really got before, that I've actually am really enjoying, you know what I mean? Like depending on how hot I'm vaping it, you know what I mean? That custard note kind of comes out a little bit, but like in the vanilla really stays true, even though you're still vaping it real hot. The vanilla stays there, but that custard comes out just that little bit more, you know what I mean? And I fucking love that about it. And then with the butterscotch, it's like you got like that more like creamy, like rich butterscotch, but it's like it's blending with the custard so much. I don't want to say better, but it's just blending so well. You know what I mean? It's just like so,
yeah,
it's
like
just
I
more
do
well
feel that it's
rounded.
more blended.
Yeah.
Like it's more cohesive. It's like, and I don't think that I thought beforehand that it was like a butterscotch and custard. It was still good, but I just think that after some tweaks and everything else, like I was nervous when I sent these tweaks in, because I even said to Sammy, I was like, listen, you're gonna have to taste test these, because you've vaped a lot of these liquids, and I need you to tell me if you think they're better or worse, because I might just get them and be like, these are way fucking better, or these are way fucking worse. Like, and so I needed kind of that sounding board. Just like I said, Sammy's vaped a lot of it, and I needed him to like give it to me straight. Yeah. And before he even got it, because I got it from the lab and I had it for like a week, and then I sent him some, and I'd already made up my mind. But once he was talking to me and he was like breaking it down, like, dude, you should have seen, because like this was all behind the scenes, because like I didn't really tell anyone, which in retrospect I probably should have mentioned it to more people, because I probably wouldn't have fucked up so hard. But you live, you learn. But Sammy was like giving me these like, dude, like such long messages. They were like going into like SMS, and like I'm reading like a 5-minute long text message about him breaking it down, which is exactly why he was the perfect person to do that for me. And he basically, without me, I never said anything. I'm like, I need to hear everything you have to say about it first, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it. And everything that he said was just like, basically, I'm like, yep, you were literally like, it's this butterscotch, the vanilla is fucking banging, like let's go. I literally feel the exact same way that you do. And it was nice to have that assurance of like, I'm not crazy, I'm not trying so hard to like this, that it's not as good as it is. Like it was what it should be. So shout out to Sammy for that. Like pure nothing but thank yous for pushing me towards the right call, which I probably would have made without you, but it would have been harder to go against you. I won't lie. Like if you're like, oh, well, I really do like this, but he likes that, maybe I'm broken. No, so it was nice that we both like,
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'm curious to hear from the clown and Corey, like where are you guys at with this? Like how excited are you guys? Or because clown, I don't know, have you had a chance to try Chris's custard yet?
I haven't tried the new ones. I've tried the old school ones, but not the new ones. So I mean, the old school ones were banging.
Okay, yeah,
I tried the old school ones. They were banging, dude. Like, I mean, he gave me 2 bottles of each, I think, and they did not survive.
Oh no, dude. No,
you gotta keep in mind, before Chris doing all this custard stuff, custard was not even in my like
me range. Either, bro.
I was like, fuck custard. Everybody makes them. I don't care. But he did it, and I was like, okay, there's something here then. And I mean, even that encouraged me to start like mixing custards and stuff, and actually doing it more as a foreground flavor in my DIY stuff versus it just being like a background booster. I mean, even I ended up doing an apple custard that I'm liking. So I mean, Chris has encouraged quite a bit over here.
Nice. What about you, Corey?
Let me just say I've been checking the tracking on my order every day to see if it bumps.
He hopes
up
it
in
changes
time.
every minute.
Well, because it's like, okay, the way you originally planned on shipping didn't fall through. So now you had to do it through Canada Post. And like, I checked today. I was like, oh crap, it's saying it's gonna be on the 28th. I have to wait like fucking 10 days for this shit now.
Dude,
Is it in Winnipeg now?
welcome to Chris's world, dude.
Yeah, dude, literally, like, okay, so full disclosure, I ordered stuff from Jess Marie. It got shipped on the 8th of December. I still don't have it. It's been sitting in Mississauga, which is like a suburb of Toronto, and I live an hour and 20 minutes east of Toronto. So like it's probably an hour and 40 minutes away from me. It's been there since the 9th. Today's the 18th. It's still not updated and it's still not here. But also, Corey, like that's just estimated. It might come by next Saturday.
I'm hoping.
And
Keep
then
my
you'll
fingers
be like,
crossed.
this is amazing, right? It all depends on when it crosses the border, because then it's all relying on US.
As long as Chicago Customs isn't a pain in the ass, you're good.
Yeah.
I never have a problem with it coming to me. I always have a problem with it going out. Like,
well, then there you go. So that means that like the 28th, it might even be earlier than that.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I remember having like the OG batches when you used to bring them to the Michigan meetups and all that stuff, and they were solid. So I'm knowing that it was like this is the finished product is getting me super excited, and just seeing you get to where you were then to where you are now is just awesome.
Yeah, like
Yes,
they
yes.
are different though, Corey. Like, but I'm not saying that they're that different. If you liked it before, then I think that you'll really like it now.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
I honestly feel that they're better than anything that I made myself. Because I actually didn't make these exactly the way that the lab made them. Because I, like James said, last second when I was sending it in, I sent in what I was making, and then I sent in a different version of the vanilla, but the different version was not that different. It was just slightly tweaked. And then the butterscotch, I ended up giving them 3 recipes because I wanted to try the original, like the way that I've been making it. And then I wanted to try one with a few tweaks. And then I wanted to try another one. There wasn't a complete overhaul by any stretch, but it was like a different way to get there.
Mhm.
And yeah, I honestly, like, I just feel like they're the best that they've been, which is kind of perfect timing because like they're now getting produced and I got hundreds of bottles of them. So it's good that they're the best when I have hundreds of
Yeah.
bottles of them.
Dude, what I think is the coolest part about this, man, is like just knowing you and how much you've like loved this liquid and how long you've been mixing it just for yourself, you know what I mean? Just like as something, you know, like, and then going on and then slowly, you know, sending a couple bottles to, you know, friends and like, hey, maybe they'll try it out, you know what I mean? And then it turning into like an actual legitimate, like fully like legal, like full regulation liquid made in one of the biggest labs in Canada.
Oh, it is the biggest lab
Like
in
the
Canada.
biggest lab in Canada, you know what I mean? It's like you can't get more official than that. And like literally watching this go from this to that little handwritten, you know, little labels with some scotch tape on a black 100 ml or 60 ml bottle to this, bro. Like, it's fucking awesome, dude, and congratulations, bro. Because like,
I know
And
that's a
you know
black
what?
bottle.
Honestly, like shout out hard to Sean Typhon because
yeah, dude.
me and him spent like a whole evening like designing the label for this. Like, you know, minus the warnings because like that's
Yeah.
a template that you have to use. But like the whole testing grounds and everything and the overdrip all down the text and the way that it was moving around and the colors and all that stuff. And like once we threw it together, dude, like I couldn't stop smiling. I was like, dude, I fucking love the way that that looks. And like I'm like, I would like put it on like my counter and walk like 5 feet away, and I'd be like, yo, I could still read that. Like that's such a clean, like everything about it. I was so excited. So like shout out to Sean because if it wasn't for Sean, it probably wouldn't look anything like this because it was like kind of us together working on it and getting it to look as cool is for me to me it, like that it is. So like I can't wait till you know if I come out with another line at some point, like it's not going to be the overdrip line, because the overdrip line is going to be just custards. So it'll be a different line, and I'll probably will switch up that font. Like the testing grounds, that's always going to be the same. And honestly, it's probably always going to be a black label because I like black and white. It looks dope. But I can't wait till that day comes, and it'll be another experience of like designing a label, because that was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
And whenever I look down at it, I think about like that night, and like I'm proud of like my friend that did this for me. Like I know that I helped, and the idea of like, oh, I like that, or how about something a little bit like this, and then Sean would just be doing it all, and we're in a Zoom room and everything. Like I'm proud of my friend for doing that, and I'm proud of us for coming together and making it. Like it's awesome. I do want to just thank like all my friends, period. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I probably would never have done it. Like without you guys trying it and giving me the feedback or the encouragement and all these different things, it probably would never have happened. I probably would have just kept on making it for myself, and like here and there I would go into the meetups, I would like bring some down, or if like somebody there's kind of like a rolling amount of people. It's like if you were a stooge for long enough, like eventually you're probably gonna get it if you're a filthy casual. But it just was gonna take time, because I never would accept money, and there was times that I go to the post office and spend $120 on shipping stuff out that I paid to make and give to my friends. And that's not like a complaint or anything. That's why not everyone got to try it before. So that's, like I said, like without my friends, I probably would never have done it. So everyone that's ever encouraged me or just talked to me about it, like you guys all got to take some of the credit for it happening, whether you want to or not. Like in my eyes, you're part of it.
You don't get a choice.
Dude,
Yeah, you don't. Like
it's just exciting, man. It really is, dude. Just to like to see the homie doing something that he's passionate about and he loves, and now it's like he's got the ability to get it out to the masses, and now like it's not just going to be the few of us that know you that are going to be able to try this. Like anybody has the ability to try this liquid now. You know what I mean?
And you need to try it. Just
you need honest. To. Honestly, if any of you guys out there are Custard fans, I'm telling you, you need to try this liquid. Even if you don't think you,
even if you're not, as long as
you need to try it.
Like you need to. Never tried a e-liquid. There was a Custard, but you like desserts. I'm gonna say like you might not love it. I'm not saying guaranteed you'll love it, but there's no way that you'll be like, this is garbage. And that's not just because I made it. Like that's just a fact. Like I've tried a lot of stuff, and there's lots of stuff like maybe I'm not as particular as some people, but it's worth a try. And Sean actually said it, and like I don't know if I at the time necessarily agreed with it, but I in retrospect, like I don't disagree with it either. Is that he said that if you never tried a vanilla custard or you never tried a butterscotch custard, you should try this, because it's like that entry into it. There's not like it's not like such a light custard or something that you're not going to know that it's custard. Like if you have tried a custard before and that custard note disgusts you, then you could try it, but like I there's a good chance you're probably not going to like it. But there's a lot going on with it that, depending, like James said, if you want it really, really creamy, like, and you vape like it in a gear at 45 watts, it's going to be nice.
Oh,
and
dude, so good.
If you want that custard to really come out, and you rock series mods, like you're rocking something like this, it's going to be creamy, but you're going to get a lot of custard. It's just all
that
dependent,
egginess
right?
you're looking for.
And the butterscotch is the same idea.
Dude,
right? Like you're gonna,
I
can
speak
vape
on
it
that
all over, and it's always going to be different.
Because I actually have it set up in 2 different things right now. I've vaped the shit out of butterscotch in a Cloud Chucky dual coil RDA mech setup. Like I've vaped it hot. I know how it is, and I love it. But recently, I've tried the newest, the new mix, because got it right here. Finished this bottle, but I put the last of this in my ether in a nice restricted direct lung, not quite running it as hot, and I got like even more of that like rich butterscotchy notes out of it, but that custard was still there. But it just had that like more of a creamier kind of component to it, being in that restricted sort of direct lens situation compared to being more wide open, where you still get a nice butterscotch and custard board, but it's a little bit more open and compared to it being a little bit more, kind of dense and like creaminess that you would
Yeah,
get.
like you tried it as well. Like when I would mix it myself with like the older, like not updated recipe and mouth to lung.
Oh, dude.
It would change it. It
Oh,
would
yeah.
become more creamy and it would become more rich.
Absolutely.
I think that eventually that's going to happen for me too, because like
I was just gonna ask
this
you
is
that.
not like anything, but like I was doing it before it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Dude,
like,
honestly,
I will
you were the
do it.
one that got me to switch from Nick Salts back to, traditional, nicotine, like that 50-50, 12 milligram. Like,
like
you were
just
the one
regular
that you're like, here, dude,
12 milligram.
I'm gonna mix you up some butterscotch custard and 12 milligram. Try that out, see how that works for you. And then as soon as I got that, dude, no more Nick Salts, and it was just, that was in every pod system that I owned because it was just so good, and it got me the Nick fix that I was looking for, and I didn't have to sit there and constantly have my like Nick Salts in my hand like I was, because I came so dependent on it. I was able to kind of get back to where I could pick it up, take it to, put it down, and then not have to worry as much. So yeah, dude, I would love to get both of these in a 12 milligram at some point, dude. That would be awesome.
Yeah, like I'm sure that it'll happen, but like I said before, it's just when you're doing things through a lab, like it costs a lot more money. It's not like, oh, I'll just mix it up and send it out. Like there's a lot more to it. Like you're talking about like thousands of dollars to get stock, and not even a lot of stock when you're getting a new flavor. So that's why, like, for me, like, it's going to be a slower rollout. But I guess it all depends. If it starts selling well and the money's coming back on the business, like, I've decided that all of 2021, I'm not going to take out anything from the business. Everything I make is going back into it, just so I can get more flavors and have like just more shit going on.
Yeah.
Like I still have to like do more work on the website, but like in time that will happen, because like every night I'm basically fooling around with it, trying to figure it out a little bit more and more. And I'm like also learning all the fucking kind of BS rules that Canada has. Like, for anyone that goes on the website, it doesn't even say anything in the flavor description, because like basically everything about the vanilla custard or butterscotch custard I can't say butterscotch, I can't say custard, I can't say vanilla. Like, all those things can't be said. So it's more difficult to kind of get across the point. But I feel like if you're gonna go there and you recognize the name Overdrip, you're gonna know that it's custard. Like that's it. Also, I mean, it says BC or VC, so like what else would those be? I mean, that's just me assuming that people know this information. But as I get more familiar and as like all the rules kind of finalize and all these different things, because all those things were recently done. When I look at other people's websites, sometimes like they put it there and I'm like, but they're not supposed to have it there. So it puts you in that weird spot of like, do I change it and do I not follow the rules because all these other people aren't, or do I continue to follow the rules and try to figure out ways to get my point across while following the rules?
Yeah.
So the easiest way to follow the rules is know them in and out. And then you can find those little areas that you can kind of take advantage of or tweak to your narrative, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how rules work. There's always people looking on how they can find that flaw in the entire process, and that they can then, oh, I'm going to do this, and if I say this and I use this word's okay, and I can get everything across at that point.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm stoked for you, man. I'm stoked to start seeing more orders come across the desk. I know you got how many did you get the first day, like after it was up, just from like the
there was 7.
Nice. Well, hopefully after the show tonight,
like 12 so far, like since last Thursday night. So like it's pretty good. But like I said, I think that it would have been more if there was MasterCard available. But like I said, I really didn't think that it was that big. I thought that like if you had a credit card, like
dude,
most people have a Visa.
I was surprised too, Chris, because like majority of the people I know have Visa cards, but you know, it
Yeah,
just goes to show you everybody's
that was just
different,
like
man.
once again, that was like one of those
Yeah.
things that I probably should have asked people about. I'd be like, yo, what kind of credit card do you guys use? But I never did because, like I said, I assumed that people had visas. So like people like Clown, like dude, he tried to place an order and he's like, yo, he's like, I only have MasterCards. As a matter of fact, I think that everyone on the Mixing It Up panel
Yeah.
only MasterCard. So like these guys were like, oh my god, I can't wait. And of course they knew about it before like everyone else as well. Like they knew around the same time that James knew and everything. And so they were looking forward to it launching, and it was just kind of a letdown for me. I'm sure it was a letdown for other people that wanted to order, but like it was a letdown for me because I knew that there's people that wanted to order and couldn't.
Yeah.
So I did have to like kind of like bite the bullet and give MasterCards, those bastards, their money and agree to it just so people wouldn't be limited. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, people that only have American Express, I'm probably not going to ever accept that. I'm not going to accept PayPal either, just because PayPal can freeze your money at any point.
Yeah, it's not.
I have a bunch of money tied up in PayPal. I can't even restock the site. What's the point of having a site at that point? So
yeah,
it's just going to be Visa debit, MasterCard.
All right, guys. So with that, go over there, check it out. Uncle Chris's Testing Grounds. Just type it in the Googles. It'll pop up. Just go over there, check it out. Use the code SHEDTIME too, if you want.
Yeah.
You know, it gets you a little discount. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah,
go over
there's
there.
going to be a code Mixing It Up as well.
Yeah,
So
boom.
you can use either one, really.
Yeah, twofer. So now you got two codes that you can use. So just write one of them down and you'll be good to go. So with that, go over there, go check it out, guys. But we do have one thing to do real quick before we end the show, because it's what we do at the end of every episode. It's time to add a couple songs to the Ohmies playlist. So let's go ahead in that beautiful bumper. It's time for Vaping with the Ohmies music playlist. So this week, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick one song from everybody here on the panel, and then we'll have Uncle Chris go ahead and pick one out from chat after we go ahead and throw our songs up, just because, you know, why not have the special guest pick the song this week? So with that, let's go ahead and start off with Clown. What do you have to add on the list this week?
Did you say we're only doing one song?
Yeah, we're just doing one this week.
All right, I'm going to go with Constance from Spirit Box.
Ooh.
It's a nice little tune. If you watch the music video, it'll get you in the feels. All right, Corey, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna do. Let's see. I'm gonna do 6-gallon gasoline stomach from King Conquer. Chris, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to say No Cigar by Millencolin.
By who?
Millencolin, Millen.
I got it.
Dolin.
Okay, and James.
Let's see here. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's go with... Or that's not it. Same in the End by Sublime. It's gonna be my song this week.
Dude, that started to instantly play in my brain.
Dude, right?
Like instantly.
You know, pow. All right, so who's left?
We just have to pick one out from chat.
I just gotta pick one. So throw some more suggestions in.
Yeah, and while
Please.
he's doing that, why don't we have Chris? Why don't you tell them what you got coming up, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
All right, well, you can check me out tomorrow night on KVTV, and we're doing Mixing It Up, and I'm gonna spoil it. There is a special guest on tomorrow, and we do have a special profile that our special guest has picked. I'll let Clown give you the profile.
Pain in the ass. That's all I gotta say.
What's that?
It's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like honestly, like I thought about it today for like 5 minutes and was like, I don't fucking even know.
All of us are like, why the fuck do you make this into a liquid?
But we're having Disco Potato on, so she's coming in, she's mixing it up with us tomorrow night, so that should be fun. It's
Are
like
you doing
another
potato
person
liquids?
that has like some pretty good experience in DIYing. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, you can catch me on the Green Room this Friday on Frames Janklin Vapor. And you can just check out shedtimepodcast.com for all your Green Room and Shed Time Podcast needs. I will say shout out to Sean for killing that website, as well as, starting the YouTube, so you can check out Shed Time Studios on YouTube. And there's the Shed Time Podcast on Instagram, so you can check that out too. Yeah, you can check out my website, because I forgot this on the podcast yesterday. You can check out my website, unclechris.com. I do ship worldwide. There's some stipulations in certain countries, like in Australia, you have to have a nicotine license. Otherwise, because I'll email you. If you try to make one from Australia, I'll email you and say, do you have a nicotine license? Because I don't want you to get in trouble, and I also don't want to get in trouble. But if you have one, then it's okay. There's going to be like a few other countries that you might not find available to ship to. I'm sorry, but I was basically suggested to not ship to every single country, but I think that there's only like 30 countries I won't ship to. So you're pretty much good to go anywhere. You can use the coupon code SHEDTIME. You can use the coupon code Mixing It Up. That'll save 15% off. And I think that's everything. So now I'm going to scroll back up quick and see what songs were suggested. Okay, you know what? I just saw this here. Like, I literally hate this band, but it doesn't matter, because Wire Talk with Big G said, in honor of Uncle Chris and the land of Canada, I'm going with Rush, Free Will.
All right.
I'm finished for everything, so should I throw it off?
Yeah, throw it off to Corey.
I'm going to throw it to Clown, because Corey's probably still typing in
good idea.
That suggestion.
Yeah, like Chris said, come hang out with us tomorrow. I'm Mixing It Up. We're going to be doing hanging out with Disco Potato, learning more about her DIY experience and all that kind of thing. And I know she's got a show going on. She'll probably promo that. And yeah, just be on the lookout for videos. I actually have videos coming out now. It's fucking insane.
Yeah,
I actually took my week of vacation and edited and did all that stuff, and it's been fun. I kind of forgot how much I missed it. And just wanted to thank everybody that has followed the channel. I hit over 800 today.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
1,000.
Road to 1,000. We're going to make it happen. Go over there, subscribe if you're not.
That's what we're up to right now. And then Juice Coils, if you're interested in trying out any stuff I do, hit me up on Discord, Instagram, or clownvapes@gmail.com. I'll get you set straight from that point. Corey?
Yeah, well, you haven't seen it already. I did my first beer review today, so that was fun. So start expecting to see those coming out almost every day. I'm going to try to get a lot of content coming out for you guys on my beer kind of journey. So look forward to that. And yeah, you can catch me on next Wednesday. Me and Logan, another episode of What's in the News. Find out what the hell is going on in the country now. Pretty much that's all I got.
All right. So with that, guys, of course, if you guys didn't check it out, I did post a review earlier today for the Fours RDA from Vapresso. So if you guys want to go take a peek at that, kind of, hear my thoughts and stuff, let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. I like you when you guys comment. Leave me some comments so I can, talk back with you guys and stuff like that. Of course, keep an eye out, like Chris said, for the Green Room happening every Friday right here. Well, not right here, actually on my channel, Frames Janklin Vapor, if you guys didn't know, which you probably do. But go over there, go check that out with Sean Typhon, Overdrip, myself, every Friday. We love hanging out with you guys. And of course, check out the new Shed Time podcast episode that was uploaded yesterday. We had, just a cool session, kicking back, shooting the shit, talking about just randomness, but it was actually a pretty good show, guys. So go over there, go check it out. Of course, like Chris said, follow us on Instagram, Shed Time Podcast. Go check us out over here on YouTube as well, Shed Time Studios. Give us a subscribe there as well. And then, of course, check us out SoundCloud. If you guys have not followed us there, follow us. We got a 200 follower giveaway coming up where you can get your hands on some of this testing grounds, guys. Super easy. All you got to do is follow us on SoundCloud and you can possibly get some. And of course, you can also take part in the 500 follower giveaway where we're getting a big old prize package away, guys. So stay tuned for that.
There's
Other than that,
ridiculous amount of stuff.
Yeah, there's like a Tenacious Unicorn in there. There's some Dynavap stuff. There's some Breeze Tone coils. There's some liquid going in there. There's all kinds of stuff going in there, guys. So just stay tuned for that. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up right now, as we always do, sending out all those positive vibes. Chris, high fives, and as always, let's just vape on, homies.